Hey, what's up guys? Colby Cheese here, and I wanted to answer a couple of questions that I get on stream, as well as provide a useful resource for players in order to level up their characters quickly and effectively. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and whenever I'm playing the game Path of Exile, whether you're starting off as your first new character or if you have a little bit of currency to spend to buy some leveling items, there's a lot of different ways to level up your character that is effective, especially for the type of build that you're going to be doing. Casters have different ways of leveling, melee characters, range characters. There's a lot of different ways that you can level your character, and for the most part, whenever I'm leveling up new characters, the build that I use for the first 60 or so levels is nothing like the one I'm going to be using late game. And I think this is where a lot of people have trouble, is that they see this really cool build online or in a video or something that I've done, for example, and then they try and do it starting at level 1. You know, they have a lot of trouble because in a lot of cases builds that are meant for in-game don't work so well when leveling up, or they may work but they're very slow or inefficient when compared to pretty much all the other stuff that you can do. So just as an example, there's a lot of ways you can level your character, one of the most popular ones being leveling as Spectral Throw. You can level up as a Firestorm, Storm Call. You can level up with a lot of Fire Trap. You can level up with Face Breakers. You can level up with Searing Bond. So these are all strategies that you can use for characters that are not even going to be doing anything similar. Same thing with like CI characters, people who use Chaos Inoculation, which makes you only use your energy shield. I've heard a lot of people on stream saying they were trying to do this and they just keep dying early on. That's because you don't start off with CI, you start off with health. And I just want to answer this in a series of videos, and so I'm going to go ahead and start off and talk about some stuff you can do. What I did most recently was I wanted to level up a Summoner, but I did not level up as Summoner because Summoner is really weak. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of footage and talk about the gems and the abilities that you're going to be using for what you should do if you're going to level up as a new Summoner. And this works if you have literally no currency. If you're starting off a brand new fresh league, for example, and you wanted to level up a Summoner, I would level up as Searing Bond, and I'll show you exactly how I did it in the skill tree and what items you can get, and if you have a little bit more currency, some of the more expensive stuff that you can buy to make it even better than if you didn't have currency to start with. So let's check it out, guys. So as you guys can see in this footage here, I am running around in Act 1 just completely destroying everything without taking really any damage. And so I'm doing my general Spectral Throw start that I do on pretty much every single character, because there's a certain set of gear that will help you just absolutely blow through all of Act 1 and most of Act 2 and even Act 3 very easily with Spectral Throw. In fact, you can level up all the way to like 60-ish on most character builds using Spectral Throw. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the setup I use for Spectral Throw in order to get through a lot of the content without a lot of trouble, and the gear that you're going to need in order to make that work for you. Now, the main thing I use here is the Nailed Fist Unique. It's called Last Resort. It's very useful. You can use it at level 1. Does a lot of damage, carries you all the way through the middle of Act 2 if you would like, and it's very cheap. I probably have 10 of them that I've found myself. You use a Crest of Parandus shield, lots of block chance, life regen, life leech. This is great for all the way up to in-game. In fact, most in-game characters still use this shield. 1,000 Ribbons is a great level 1 unique that gives you a lot of different stats, a couple of bits of damage, some resistances, and overall it's just pretty nice. 2 Blackheart Rings, that's a lot of life, extra physical damage, and again, more life regen, which is amazing at low levels, by the way. I use a Naraku Tiki level 1, it gives you life, fire resist, and more life regen. Later on, we'll switch to a different amulets for Spectral Throw, but that's fine. And of course, you want to have your gold rim. This is what pretty much everyone uses up all the way up until like map level, essentially, until you find a really good helmet because of the extremely high resistances. So I always keep a 4-link gold rim on hand. It's close to 40% as possible. Wanderlust shoes are great at first as well. You can't be frozen. You get a lot of move speed. So let me show you the rest of the gear that you'll be using for Spectral Throw once you get once you out level the
the item there. So of course, crew reward, if you're not a ranger and you're not getting the projectile speed node, this gives you move speed, it gives you projectile speed to make your throws go farther. You get accuracy rating, which is amazing at low levels, as well as a decent amount of stats. Worm's Molt is great to use as well, pretty much the whole way. You can get double leech, life and mana, that helps your sustainability, gives you a little bit of life and cold resist on top of all of that. So if you're going to continue with Spectral Throw, at level 14 you can grab yourself a Shiver Sting Sword. That is really, really good. Until you hit level 22, you can grab Quacholi, and then you can go over to a Joffrey's Baptism, which carries you for the most part of the game all the way up until 44, which you can jump into a Rigvol's. That gives you another bit of move speed, accuracy, and it's overall just a ton of damage. So that's your Spectral Throw setup if you're going to be using Spectral Throw to level up throughout the game. But for me, on my summoner, I was not taking any kind of physical nodes or anything like that. So at level 24, I decided to switch over to Searing Bond, which is the requirement for that skill. And just a quick note about Searing Bond. Whenever I was in the week race, we had a friend that was doing Searing Bond. He literally was #1 in progression above all of the top groups by soloing and just running around with Searing Bond. You can see exactly how it works right here. I'm putting down a Searing Bond. I just run away. Whenever the Searing Bond breaks, I place another one down, and I just keep on running. Anything that runs up to me and touches me instantly dies. Anything that runs in between myself and the totem instantly dies. It does a lot of damage. I think this is Cruel difficulty. I was doing about 3,000 DPS. And this is just at the start of Cruel difficulty, which is ridiculous. And you don't even need a lot of gear or links to make it work. Now, I actually had a Searing Touch and an Empower Gem linked to mine, but that is absolutely not necessary. The guy in the week race who was ahead of everyone, he only has Searing Bond linked with I believe it was, yes, increased burning damage. So you need 2 links and potentially a Fin Coil, which is an extremely cheap, unique item that anyone can afford, and they are quite common. So you can get a Fin Coil or a Searing Touch, and then those 2 gem links, and you're good to go. If you want to add more damage, you can link it with Trap. You can link it with Remote Mine. And like I said, Empower, give it that +1 as well. But none of that is actually necessary. You can even just use a +1 Fire Gems Scepter or Wand and get those linked up, and you're really good to go at that point. Searing Bond is amazing and extremely fast for leveling, not to mention how fun it is. You can in fact make an entire build, especially if you're going to go dual totem or something. You can make a whole build around Searing Bond. But any kind of caster that's in the top part of the tree and you're going to be anywhere near any fire or burning damage nodes, you might as well level a Searing Bond. It's extremely fast, it's very cheap, it's very fun, and it only takes a few respec points to get out of those fire nodes later. So this is exactly what I did. And I just wanted to share these 2 leveling styles with you guys. Hopefully you learned something today about leveling up your new characters. I'll probably be doing more videos in the future. Tomorrow on stream, I'll be leveling up as a Facebreaker build, and I want to show that off. And we'll get you guys a few more leveling styles. And then I'll talk about some more finer details about some strategies and getting through the zones quicker and things like that. And so thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't already, as I do more helpful videos as much as possible, as well as some funny clips from whenever that stuff does happen. I'll see you guys on the stream at Twitch TV/ColbyCheese. Take care, everyone. Peace out.